day. It's a brand new week. Wiki mpya ya lala salama ya mwezi wa Juni. Mambo vipi, Daddie Marto right here on the Now Report. Hapa TV47, your home of untold stories. Na je, umefile taxes zako? Hiyo ndio swali muhimu. Have you filed your taxes? Between now and tomorrow, wacha nikuambie hiyo system italala. Woo! Kwa sababu ya wale watu kama Chalo watakuwa wakikimbia kufile hizo returns. Hey! Chunga sana. I can only speak like that kwa sababu mimi nisha file zangu. Mimi niko sawa. I am a very obedient, law-abiding, hard-working Kenyan. Nikiulizwa, lakini saa zingine haikuagi hivyo. But wacha tuachane na zile vitu ambazo tunafaa kufanyia serikali. Tuingilie kitu ambacho serikali inaenda kufanyia jamaa fulani hapo. Because in our first story today, the legendary Mr. Speaker Sir himself, Ezekiel Kiama Nzioki, found himself trading the chaotic corridors of Parliament for the serious benches of Milimani law courts today, facing the charges that could make anyone's pocket sweat. Unakumbuka alienda akatokea baada ya kujificha miezi kadhaa, ama miaka, actually kwa miaka mbili. Ametokea sasa amesema, ndiye mimi. Now, the state claims that during the June 2024 finance bill protests, Nzioki and a few uninvited interior designers, hivyo ndivyo wanaitwa, unlawfully stormed the building and went on a 41 million shilling wrecking spree, allegedly breaking everything from the perimeter fence and the mausoleum flagpole to the office TV screens and even the kitchenware. That massive bill is enough to buy Chapondondo to feed an entire constituency for a generation. But Nzioki's lawyer, none other than Member of Parliament Babu Owino, defended his client, telling the magistrate that he was personally inside Parliament that day and never saw Nzioki anywhere near the scene, arguing that an excessive bail would essentially sentence the student before trial. Nzioki has been released on a bail of 100,000 shillings, proving that while shouting at the speaker is free, answering for vikombe za chai as a speaker is a whole other different ballgame. Haiwak. Acha nikuambie, kama kuna kitu moja mimi huwa ninaheshimu, ni mawakili. Mawakili na ile confidence if not audaciousness yenye wako nayo. Jamaa alitokea kwa video. Jamaa akatrend. Jamaa akaenda missing miaka 2. Jamaa akarudi na vishindo na mbwembwe. Jamaa akaingia interview kwa TV. Jamaa aka-release the extra videos zenye alikuwa nazo. Jamaa akashikwa. Jamaa akakujiwa akapelekwa kotini. Wakili amesema, huyo jamaa mimi hata sikumuona mahali. Mimi na nilikuwa hapo. Mimi sijai muona. Huyu ni client wangu. Client wangu is very innocent. Lakini pia jamaa, mbona hizi vitu zingine ulifanya na bidii hivyo? Sio ni kujiweka kidole kwa jicho jameni. Na nina hope everything shall be fine, kwa sababu of course you are not the only one responsible for it. Of course you are appreciated for the role you played in fighting for our civil rights as Kenyans. Lakini kusema kweli, kama unaona makosa yamefanyika mahali, unasema ndio hapa ni mzuri, lakini hapa ni kama ulijiseti wewe mwenyewe. All the best to him, and I can only hope that the law is lenient with him, as a way of saying, kwa yale yote yalitendeka miaka 2, nimewasamehea. Kwa sababu naye serikali ikiamua itakufinya, my friend, utafinyika miaka kadhaa. Utafinyika miezi, hata si miezi, miaka kadhaa kweli. Anyway, on to the next story. An ultimate showdown is brewing at the high courts as Activist groups Sheria Mtaani through lawyers Shadrack Wamboi filed an urgent petition to halt the new mandatory NTSA vehicle inspection rules set to kick off 1st of July. The regulations by NTSA will force all private owners with vehicles that are older than 4 years to undergo annual checks. Nasikia hiyo? Annual checks, a move the petitioner claims was sneaked in without proper public participation and will immediately turn 1 million of regular VITs and pro-box drivers into alleged temporary criminals. Kwa sababu ukikosa kwenda inspections, ndio hiyo wewe. Now, by the way, a huge percentage of Kenyans, unajua wako kwa hii, na sio watu tu wa VITs na maprobox. No, zile gari zinaingiaga Kenya hukuwa more than 7 years old sana, unless umenunua showroom direct, umenunua 0 mileage, but zile mingi were 7 years and above. So definitely a lot of these cars are 4 years and above. Now, kama ni 4 years and above, unasikia inspection unafaa kuwa annually. Na unafaa kulipa 2,000 for every inspection that is done. Kuna wale wako na magari 2, kuna wale wako na 3, kuna yule ako na 1, lakini ni annually. Now, motorists are staring at hefty inspection fees as an aggressive rule that allows inspectors to permanently deregister a car on the spot without any right of appeal, essentially giving authorities the power to turn your beloved Nduthi or your family car into a permanent ornament. Unaweka gari umepark ni hivyo. Story imeisha. Juu ya kukosa 2,000 kila mwaka. Okay, si juu ya kukosa 2,000. Juu umeambiwa hiyo gari yako sio roadworthy. Pointing out that NTSA itself panicked and issued a notice telling traffic police to hold their horses on enforcement, Shadrack is asking the court to grant temporary orders, freezing this expensive headache before millions of Kenyans are driven straight into financial potholes. Tunakaga hivi, tunasikia ni kama tunaumizwa na wale watu ambao wanafaa kuwa kitusaidia. In this case being NTSA, because there are other challenges that Kenyans are complaining about on the roads. Zinakuwa circumnavigated, alafu unakuta hii yenye itatoa pesa kutoka kwa Wakenya, hii ndio tutaipea kipaumbele. Hiyo ni opinion tu, mimi nasema ni opinion tu. Anyway, on to the next story. Now, mnajua Big Brother ile ilikuwaga ina happen pale South Africa, saa zingine na happen huko Nigeria, kulikuwa na Mkenya CMB Prezo aliingia. Hiyo ni kwa sababu makamera ziko hapo hivyo zinaona kila kitu ina happen at the live. Mnapata live and direct. Now, welcome to Big Primate. In a desperate bid to save Cambodia's Cardamom Mountains from destruction, at least 25 years of relentless human destruction, conservationists have launched the ultimate surveillance state to wiretap an entire jungle. Thanks to Conservation International, over 1 million hectares of pristine rainforest, forest, rainforest are now fully rigged with hidden mics and motion-activated camera traps. Elusive Asian elephants who had successfully ghosted humanity for over a decade were recently caught red-handed on what is basically a glorified jungle ring doorbell, losing their privacy right alongside rare wild dogs and macaques. But the absolute divas of the ecosystem are the endangered pileated gibbons. These are primates that swing through the treetops way too fast for standard paparazzi cameras, forcing researchers to brave swarms of leeches just to plant microphones exactly 3 kilometers apart. Why? Because that is the strict social distancing buffer gibbons use to avoid streaming territory wars with their neighbors. Scientists are now training an AI algorithm to decode the gossip, meaning humanity has officially built cutting-edge technology to eavesdrop on dramas za mamanki. The only minor flaw in this digital utopia is the Cambodian government. While the AI is busy analyzing primate family feuds, state-sanctioned mega dams are actively deleting thousands of hectares of tree cover. Still, conservationists are walking that delicate political tightrope with absolute confidence. They are banking on the hope that their empirical data will save the day because, as history shows, nothing holds a multi-million-dollar government bulldozer quite like a really aggressive spreadsheet.
It is the first time that we provide our data to the algorithm, the AI. So we need to train AI in order to remember, to learn the call, the wavelengths, the how long or what is the average, something like that, so that the AI can learn and can identify correctly. The classifier can classify, oh, this is called gibbon, this is not, this is gibbon, this is not.
Haya, tukiwa hapo hivyo tu bado kwa wanyama, tutoke sasa Cambodia tuingie huko Australia, because hundreds of spectators descended on a tiny Australian outback town with a population of just 65 people over the weekend, leaving behind their comfortable homes to watch a chaotic 13-race spectacle known as the Marie Camel Cup. Hey, Marie Camel Cup. Na hii ni ya nini? In what can only be described as the ultimate safari rally of the desert, local trainers revealed that they actually capture these high-strung, fiery athletes straight from the wild, looking for animals with a serious attitude and a dangerous look in their eye. Basically, the four-legged version of an aggressive Nairobi matatu driver chasing a passenger. Now, this year's ultimate champion was a wild camel named Young Gun, who sprinted to victory under jockey Patrick Dennis, leaving hundreds of thousands of his destructive cousins roaming the bush to fight with cows for grass and destroy fences like stubborn trespassers. While the Australian government is busy trying to keep the massive population in check through culling and exporting a few lucky ones to Asia for one glorious weekend, these chaotic beasts were celebrated with as absolute heroes, proving that sometimes wazimu kidogo and a bad temper can actually make you a winner.
It's just something different. It's an adrenaline rush. It's not something that everybody gets to experience in their life. And I feel very privileged to be part of the Australian racing circuit for camels. They're naturally hyped. We do feed them up on racehorse mix. We train them. So these guys have been walking around, take them for walks every day. We trot them around. And then it just depends on the day. Like, we could have some that just don't want to run, especially this year with most of ours being fresh out of the wild, pretty much. They've only been tamed for the last 6 months. So we're just going to wait and see. Yeah, it's not a lifestyle as such. It's a lot of fun, and it's basically just a 6-week-long holiday. You want the ones with a little bit of temper, a little bit of fire in them, a sort of a spicy look in their eye. They want to be wary of you a little bit, but not aggressive. We don't want aggressive camels. We just want something sort of like a racehorse, a little bit high-strung, a little bit forward, something that's got the heart that's going to run.
To the North Africans, Central Africans, West Africans, and East Africans, ningependa kusema poleni sana kwa sababu sitaki munifanye ile kitu munafanyia South Africa. Sababu nilikuja Friday nikasema tushangilie kwa sababu South Africa imeweza kuhitimu kwa round of 32, the knockout stages. Lakini wacha jana ama ilikuwa leo asubuhi maneno itendeke, kwa sababu South Africa walipigwa kichapo cha last minute na Canada na wametimuliwa timu from 32, hawajaingia the round of 16. Now, unfortunately, the 2026 FIFA World Cup journey has come to a heartbreaking end for South Africa's Bafana. But if they thought the flight back from Los Angeles was going to be painful, the internet had a much rougher reception waiting for them. After surviving 90 minutes of intense Canadian pressure and dramatic 92nd minute volley kutoka kwa Stephen Eustaquio, officially sending the co-hosts through to the round of 16 and knocking South Africa out of the tournament. Now, African football fans on social media were completely ageless with their merciless interest. Yani ilikuwa kugodha tena. West and East African netizens instantly threw a massive online party over the defeat, aggressively roasting South Africa. Where? Roasting South Africa mercilessly for losing a football match to a country where, allegedly, people literally play hockey on frozen water and think ugali is just a typo. Oh yes. Keyboard warriors across the continent declare that Bafana didn't just lose to Canada. No. They apparently and allegedly lost to an entire nation of polite lumberjacks and maple syrup salesmen. proving that while South Africa might have the best amapiano beats in the world, their defensive line unfortunately danced to a completely different rhythm when it mattered the most. Yo, let me tell you. Let me tell you. Mimi kusema kweli, mimi nataka kuelewa hii chuki ni ya nini? Yaani watu wanajikakamua, wanapambana, wanapata visa, wanapata accommodation, wanapata chakula mzuri, wanatoka hapa wanaenda Amerika, wanapigana, wanashinda zingine, wanashindwa zingine, wanadraw zingine. Alafu wakishindwa ya mwisho, yani mna celebrate. Hata sisi mna celebrate Canada. Unajua kama watu wangekuwa na celebrate Canada ingekuwa story tofauti. No, mna celebrate loss. But then again, these are the same Kenyans ambao wakati PSG iliwin against Arsenal, watu hawaku celebrate that PSG may win. Wali celebrate that Arsenal may lose. Okay. Hapo ninawa understand. Hapo ninawa feel. Tumekafunga for today, but remember tomorrow we'll be right here with more news, and of course hope some of our favorite African teams will still cross over at least the round of 16, if not the finals. That is either the quarterfinals, semi-finals, or even the finals themselves. All the best to them. Bado umekelea mawe yako wapi? Ni kwa Ronaldo ama ni kwa Messi? Ama ni kwa Harry Kane? Ama ni kwa Harry Kane? Wacha tuone. Ama ni kwa Mbappe? Watu wa Mbappe tokeni hapa hivi. Huyu ashabeba, achana. Hata tuachie Ronaldo abebe round hii. Hadi hapo si tumemaliza. Na simkae poa.